Welcome to David Alexander Maths Tuition. This is chapter 5b on radian measure. This is a really quick chapter, so it shouldn't take too long, hopefully. So in chapter 5b, we have to do this kind of unusual thing, and I don't think it's massively important. It's just here to develop a slightly deeper understanding of the topic and perhaps recap on how to use the cast diagram. So it says here, express the following as trigonometric ratios of either pi over 6, pi over 4, or pi over 3. So what are they talking about here? So sine of pi over 4. So if I do my cast diagram, remember that when we do the cast diagram, we measure anti-clockwise from this point here. So normally we're seeing this as 0 degrees, 90, 180, 270, 360. So if this is 180, this is now this is not 2 pi, this is pi. So this is pi over 2, and this is 3 pi over 2. So it helps, of course, just to remember, well, if you know that 360 degrees is 2 pi and 180 is 1 pi, then you're kind of off to a good start. So we want the sine of 5 pi over 4. So if I'm measuring from here, then that is pi. So 5 pi over 4 means I'm creating an angle here, which is pi over 4. So the sine of 5 pi over 4, we can say that that is the same as sine of pi over 4, but is it positive or is it negative? Well, we can see that this angle is in the quadrant where we've got t, so only tan is positive, so therefore sine is negative. So the sine of 5 pi over 4 is the same as negative sine of pi over 4. This is what this question is asking us to do. Let's look at the next one. Cos of 2 pi over 3, C-A-S-T. So 2 pi over 3, that is short of, remember that this is pi, so it's less than pi. So that's going to create an angle here, which is pi over 3. So this angle here is the 2 pi over 3, and it's created this angle, which is pi over 3 in this quadrant here. So the cos of 2 pi over 3, that is the same as cos of pi over 3, but this angle here is in the quadrant where we have s, so only sine is positive in this quadrant, so cos is therefore negative. Okay, let's look at another example. The tan of negative pi over 6, so C-A-S-T, as it's a negative angle, we are going to measure in a clockwise direction. So therefore we're creating this angle with the horizontal, so that's pi over 6, this angle here. So therefore the tan of negative pi over 6, well, that is the same as tan of pi over 6, or is it minus tan of pi over 6? So this quadrant is the quadrant with C in it, so only C is positive, only cos is positive, so therefore that tells us that tan is negative. So the tan of negative pi over 6 is the same as negative tan of pi over 6. Okay, let's just do a few more here. So 7 pi over 6, C-A-S-T. Okay, so to here is pi. So for 7 pi over 6, that would create this angle here, which is an angle of pi over 6. So there's full pi plus another pi over 6 giving me the 7 pi over 6. This is the angle we're interested in, and it's in the quadrant where we have t. Tan is positive, so cos is negative. So this is the same as negative cos of pi over 6. Tan of 11 pi over 6, C-A-S-T. Okay, so I'm seeing, I know that 12 pi over 6 is the same as 2 pi. So we're going not quite all the way round because this is less than 2 pi. So this is 11 pi over 6, meaning that this is 1 pi over 6. So the tan of 11 pi over 6 is the same as either positive tan pi over 6 or negative tan pi over 6. This angle here is in the C quadrant, therefore cos is positive and all the others are negative. So that's the same as negative tan pi over 6. And one more example, the sine of negative 2 pi over 3, so C-A-S-T, we are going in the opposite direction, so that will create an angle here of pi over 3. This is my 2 pi over 3 here, but we're interested in this angle here. Sorry, it's not very clear. That angle there is pi over 3. So it's the same as the sine of pi over 3, or maybe negative sine of pi over 3, it depends. Okay, this is the t quadrant. In the t quadrant, that means sine is negative. So the sine of negative 2 pi over 3, that's the same as negative sine of pi over 3. Without using a calculator, find the exact values of sine of 11 pi over 3. Okay, actually quite a nasty one, this one. So CAST. So we know that this, a full 360 degrees, that is 2 pi radians. Now 2 pi in terms of thirds, that is going to be 6 pi over 3. So 6 pi over 3 is one resolution. So if I do another one, that would be 12 pi over 3. So we're not going fully round that second time. One round would be 6 pi, second round would be 12, so it's one less than that. So therefore that would create an angle of pi over 3. Okay, so this angle of pi over 3 is in the C quadrant, so sine is negative. So the sine of 11 pi over 3, that is the same as the negative sine of pi over 3. Okay, so now I'm going to think of this with triangles. So 1, 2, root 3. So pi over 3, so again you might be thinking pi over 3 is 60 degrees, which is this angle here. So this is my pi over 3 and this is the pi over 6. So what is the sine of pi over 3? The sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. So this one here is root 3 over 2. Let's face it, in reality, what are you going to do? You're just going to type into your calculator the sine of 11 pi over 3 and your calculator will say root 3 over 2 without using the cast diagram stuff, and that is absolutely fine. So like, this is my way of saying perhaps 5b you can kind of skip out a little bit. Right, let's have a go at the cos of 7 pi over 4, CAST. So 8 pi over 4 would be 2 pi, which would be the full full resolution. So this is going to be creating an angle here of pi over 4. Okay, so this angle here is 7 pi over 4, and that is creating this angle here of pi over 4, and this is in the C quadrant, so cos is positive. So the cos of 7 pi over 4 is the same as cos of pi over 4, and we're going to use the other triangle here, which is the 1, 1 root 2. This is pi over 4. So the cos of pi over 4 is 1 over root 2, or root 2 over 2. Okay, let's look at this final example, 8 pi over 3. Okay, so cast diagram CAST. So the full resolution, that will be 6 pi over 3, because the full resolution is 2 pi, and 6 pi over 3 is the same as 2 pi, obviously. So therefore that's going to create this another 2 pi over 3 to do, so 2/3 pi. So the tan of 8 pi over 3, that's the same as the tan of 2 pi over 3. So this would be my 2 pi over 3, creating this angle here of pi over 3. Okay, so we have the tan of pi over 3, except it's in the S quadrant, so it's going to be minus the tan of pi over 3. Here's my pi over 3, so the tan of pi over 3 is root 3 over 1. So we want minus the tan of pi over 3, so that's going to be minus root 3 over 1, or negative root 3. There we go. As I said before, all of this can be avoided. You can just type this into your calculator and not worry too much about the cast diagram.